All right, morning, guys. Hopefully, you guys had a nice long weekend. Let me just put this in here real quick. So, this is just a little bit of an agenda for, I guess, the week coming up. So we've got a short week. Okay, so yeah, I hope you had a nice long weekend. I know it maybe doesn't feel like a long weekend because, well, you're not in school any day, but you had 4 days off. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Just I want to direct you to the question on the learning clipboard that I'm going to post. You probably already have seen it, but if not, have a look at it. It has to do with meditation and with all the things that are going on right now. I think actually it's pretty fitting to have there, and it gives you just like 3 steps in terms of doing like a very simple meditation where you just kind of close your eyes, you breathe for 5 minutes, calm things down. It's a good thing to do just to kind of release some stress and refocus, whatever it is how you want to use it. So take a look at that, and you can try it because we've got nothing but time. So we're going to start the final geometry unit. So this is transformations. So this is going to be looking at the Cartesian grid and then all the different transformations that happen within it within grade 8. So that's moving shapes around, that's reflecting shapes, that's rotating shapes, and if we have time, we can actually do some dilation of shapes, making them bigger and smaller. So today's topic is just setting up the Cartesian grid, looking at, that's this right here, looking at like what an ordered pair is, and then just the x and y axis, which really kind of just relates back to what's happening here. But anyways, without further ado, let's talk materials. So what you're going to need for this, I'm going to use a pen just because it's a bit easier. So just pen, ruler, and so I've got 1 centimeter graph paper right here. One thing that I'll just mention, a couple of you talked about Discord as a way to kind of interact as we do the lessons. I think you have at least one teacher that's doing it. Let me look into it. For these kind of lessons, I think they're pretty straightforward enough for me to do it this way, but I think as we go a little bit longer, and I think we're going to find out how long we're going to actually be doing this, I do like the idea of that, where we can be a little bit more interactive with some questioning. But for now, let's just get through this week and next working with this, and then we'll see where it goes, okay? So, without further ado, we can start. So you got your materials again: graph paper, ruler, pen, use a pencil, get an eraser, and get rolling, okay? So let's just label this. Cartesian coordinate grid. I think it's probably more fun if you just kind of do this alongside me. If it is fun at all. Okay, so you got that happening right here, okay? So we're going to kind of pick a random point here. It's going to be the center, 0.0. And take your ruler and let's go up 10 units, I think, just to start, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we go 10 up, we got to go 10 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So this is going to be y. I always remember y to the sky. I'll put that in here. Y to the sky. Just so I know that y-axis is my vertical axis. Okay? So now vertical, just so we know, that's up and down. So now we want to go horizontal axis, which is going to be our x-axis. Okay? So we're going to go to the right, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll go x-axis here. So there's the Cartesian coordinate grid. If you notice, we're going to have, well, we have 4 quadrants, right? Okay. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but we've got 4 different sections rather than just looking at like a positive points that we would have. We've got 4 different areas. We've got positive, we've got negative. Okay, so we gotta label it. All right. So what I like to do is, for the positive ones, I'm gonna go in the what we call like an interior angle. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we can see that pretty clearly. Now, if we're going positive values, sort of north of what's going to be 0 here, okay, when we go below the x-axis, we're going to have to go negative values. So this is where our negative integers come in, okay? So we're going to go -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. Okay, same thing. If we've gone to the right of 0 and we've got positive values, we're going to go to the left. Okay, on that x-axis, we're going to go to 2 negative values. So we're going to go -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10. Is this weird? I don't know. Like, I'm used to talking in front of people, you know, I love that. Now I'm talking literally to a wall and to a phone, but we're all making the best here, right? Yeah, and one thing, thanks for handing in all that work. I'm not really going to put a big emphasis on due dates, but I would say almost all of you, like 80-90% of you, had all that math work, that review stuff handed in to me, scanned, photo, whatever it is, take a picture. I appreciate that, all right? With a lot of them with a message saying hello, and so that's really good. Okay, so essentially, this is how we want to set up the Cartesian grid, okay? So, I guess the next thing that we need to do is, once we have this, what's the point of it, right? So we want to take coordinates, okay, ordered pairs, and we want to be able to plot them on this grid system so that we can move them around, okay? So let's put this up here. So an ordered pair, x and y-axis, okay? So let's start off with, if we put it here, an ordered pair. So let's say our ordered pair, OP, would be 2 and 2, okay? So when we read an ordered pair, we've got the x value first, and then followed by, let me just move this over, okay? Let me just do this. Let me just zoom in up on this grid here, okay? On this one quadrant. So we've got our x and we've got our y value, and now I've actually got a number there. I've got a numerical value for it. So x is going to be 2, and then y is going to be 2. So I like the out and up method, okay? Out and up, out and up. So x-axis first, and then up to the y-axis. So if I start here, I got to go over 2. 1, 2. So we have there. And now I'm going to go, y is a positive 2, so now I'm going to go up positive 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2. So now I'm a positive 2 on my x-axis. I'll put x here. I can put y down here. So I've got y, y, x, x. I've got positive 2, okay, on my x-axis. And now I've got positive 2 on my y-axis, okay? So I going to plot this point. And now I know that my ordered pair, 2 and 2, is right here. Okay? So let's say that's the first point. So let's do another ordered pair. Let's go, let's do one more on the positive. So let's go 7 and 4. Okay? So I'm going to give you a second just to try this. Okay? So see if you can go out 7 and then up 4. These are both two positive values. Okay? So you're going to go out and up. So take a minute. Okay, that's annoying. Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to do that anymore. So let's go out 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the x-axis. Now we're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our point right there. Okay, so we're going to put the ordered pair in. So we've got 7 and 4. All right. So now we've got 2 points here. Okay, so let's do a negative point so we can do a triangle, so we can do a polygon. Okay, so we're gonna go OP, so we're gonna have to go positive on the x and then negative on the y. So let's say we did 7, but we did -3. Okay, so there's our difference right there. So now we've got 7 in the x-axis for that coordinate, but we've got a -3 for the y-coordinate. Okay, so same thing, out, and then not up, but it's going to go down. Okay, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we've got y, but we've got negative, so now we have to go down. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to plot that point, put a little circle over it so I can see it. I'm going to put this right here. So we've got 7, -3. There's our ordered pair. So let's just take a look. On the x-axis right here, we come over and we've got 7. That makes sense. On the y-axis, we've got a -3. Okay, so we're going to go down, and we've got -3. We come across there. Okay, so we can see how that connects. So now we've got 3 points to make a polygon. All right. So let's go ahead and connect this. Now I understand I'm going to kind of roll through my one ordered pair there, but we get the point. Okay, I'm looking at the time. I'm at 12:54. I want to keep these to about 15 minutes. Just so you're not bored out of your mind listening to it, and we just touch on the main points here. Okay, so let's take this back out, and now what we see is, so we've got a triangle. Okay, let's do one last thing. Okay, let's go ahead and label the vertices. Okay, so now we've got triangle A, B, C. All right, so that's how we can kind of label this. All right, so we've got triangle A, B, C. We've got the ordered pairs that go with that triangle to show that how it would be plotted. We know how to set up this Cartesian grid. Okay, and essentially that is it. We will stop there. Okay, I will post this video, so take a look at it. I will post 2 questions for you to do with setting the Cartesian grid up, and then just plotting some points in all 4 quadrants. So just some different ones. We'll add in some negative values. Don't have to hand this in. What I'm going to do is probably post the solutions on Wednesday, and then Tuesday, post the solutions on Wednesday, and then Thursday. So you got like a couple days. We're not supposed to be giving a whole lot of work to you right now as we ease into it. So then we're going to look at translations, where we're actually going to be taking this shape, and I'll be giving you what's called a translation vector. So if you want to take a look at that, I'm going to write this right here. If you want to get ahead of this, a translation vector. Okay, a translation vector is a set of coordinates that tells us how far to move each point to the left, to the right, up and down. It just gives us some information as to take this shape and move it somewhere else, okay? So that'll be the next thing we look at. So translations and the translation vector, okay? Thanks a lot, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed one of many installments of Mr. Roberts' video lessons, and we'll pick it up later. All right? Take it easy, guys.